Hello and welcome back to Beer Sphere. Today we have 6 new beers on our table. All of them are craft beers brewed locally in Segovia. Let's get into it. So let's talk about craft beer itself first. The movement originated in America and then spread out globally in the recent years. We have seen beer coming from Japan, from Russia, from Germany, from Spain, and they come in new flavors and new styles and new designs. So here we have on our table 6 new beers from Segovia. They're brewed locally. However, they're very different in themselves. The 5 beers I have here are all brewed by San Frutos, and they're local to here, to Segovia. They started from a garage and then spread out and started putting the beer on the shelves of local bars and stores. The one beer I have here to my left is also brewed in their brewery, but it is called the Vikingator. It has a different story behind it, and I'm not sure what it is. You can read it later on in the blog when it comes out. But it's a special beer, and they collaborate together with San Frutos to spread the beer and the essence of craft beer around the world. I think we should not keep ourselves waiting and start with the first beer, San Frutos Blonde Ale. This beer is one of the first ones that they created in their chain, and I think it is one of the most successful ones. Personally, I prefer the Especial Pale Ale. The black also is really nice, and the Witbeer is really cool as well. But let's start with the blonde. No beer shall go to waste, so we cannot really pour too much. Fun fact, you might not know, but you cannot really pour beer at an angle for the whole time. If you're pouring beer at that angle for the whole amount of the pouring, then all the foam that is stored up in the carbon dioxide will then foam up in your stomach itself and will make you more full. And if you pour it with a little bit of extra foam, then you might enjoy the beer even more. Let's go ahead and try the Blonde Ale from San Frutos. You really notice the difference between the blonde and the rest of the beers. It is, I don't want to call it basic, but it really is something for everyone. Anyone who wants to start drinking beer or wants to initiate himself or herself into the world of craft beer. I think now it's time to try the Witbeer, and I haven't really tried it too much myself, so it's going to be an experience for you and for me. You can see it's a bit more foggy inside. That means the consistency is truly persistent in there. Once again, I will repeat, no beer goes to waste. You can notice the aroma of the Witbeer. It's a very different taste. It's much less, it's much more colorful. The taste, you can really notice the beer here, and the taste is quite colorful. It's can't really explain it very well, but you really notice the difference. They have done something very right here. The Witbeer is recommended to anyone as well. It's a little bit more strong than the Blonde Ale, but you can enjoy yourself just as much. I think now it's time to try the Special Pale Ale. I think that this is my favorite beer, of San Frutos, at least. And it has been my favorite for a while. Not just of the flavor, but also the label. I love the texture of it and the logo on it. It's really, really nice, really elegant. And so is the taste of the beer. You can really notice the gold here. It's a bit more brown than the Witbeer. And you notice the aroma a lot. You can notice all the hops. Oh yes, it's very elegant and quite subtle, but you can clearly notice that something interesting is going on. You know, in craft beer, it's very important to get the proportions right. And I truly think that the Special Pale Ale does it really well. I can recommend anyone who wants to try out the really good combination of flavors to try out the Special Pale Ale of San Frutos. And you also get a very nice aftertaste. Not a lot of beers have that, especially not the industrial ones. The industrial ones have an aftertaste that you want to get rid of. You want to eat something salty as fast as possible so you get a different flavor. Not this one. The Special Pale Ale makes you feel the beer, and you get that aftertaste that really makes you feel comfortable with the beer. I don't know how to truly describe it very well so the viewer sees it, but honestly, you should just try it out for yourself if you're ever in the area. Now we come to the Indian Pale Ale. This beer is quite interesting. It is truly a bomb of flavor. When I first tried this beer, I was quite surprised by how its flavor combinations make you just very much more interested in the beer itself. You can already smell it here. You can smell the hops. You know, Indian Pale Ale, it's all about the aroma, and you can taste it just out of the bottle. Just a little bit. You notice that it's much clearer than the other ones, especially the Special Pale Ale. But it's much more colorful in terms of aroma. Very, very dramatically different taste. Yes, it's very different. Also, the Indian Pale Ale is famed for that, for the flavor and the taste of it. Since the buds that they use are truly the best of the best. Not a lot of people actually like that sometimes. Sometimes people prefer the plain beer. But on a special occasion, I do enjoy a little bit of an Indian Pale Ale from San Frutos. We'll keep this for later. Now we go into a completely different area. Whereas the previous beers I did try out before, these two beers I have never tasted. And it's going to be a completely different experience. The Vikingator is brewed by San Frutos, but it's not their beer. However, it's distributed in SEGOVIA. Even the bottle feels different. They brewed in a special barrel that is separated from all the other beers. I'm quite excited to find out the flavor of it. I'm told that it's one of their stronger beers with 8% alcohol. The aroma, it's completely innovative. I've never ever smelled anything similar to this. Let's see at the color. Whoa, this is a drastic change. You can clearly see that this beer does not play around. It's packed with flavor and aroma. Oh my god. This is something completely new. Let's try it out. Wow. Now this is a big step forward. I must say that the Indian Pale Ale, the India Pale Ale, we wow, this is a big step forward in terms of flavor and aroma. I must say that the India Pale Ale did taste and had a very strong aroma, but this, the Vikingator, takes it somewhere else. I must say I'm quite amazed. Goes really well down the throat, and you know, I'm quite enjoying myself with this beer. This beer tells you that you know something. You know something that others don't. And I like that about beer. I'm a dark beer guy myself, so I really did enjoy that. Now, let's try something that I never tried and I always wanted to get my hands on. The Imperial Stout. The Russian Imperial Stout. Wow. I must say I'm impressed by the aromas. Whereas I'm quite comfortable with the previous beers, these are completely new for me. Truly different. Let's try it out. I'm very excited. Dark. Very dark. It's much darker even than the Vikingator. It has an aroma of coffee. That is quite strange. Subtle hints of coffee. Whoa. This is very different than what I expected. Fun fact about this beer is that it was developed by the English for the Russians, especially for the Russian Empire. It has a much bigger quantity of alcohol with 9.1% and much stronger flavors from the hops. And you can really notice them. You know, they actually did that to be able to transport it safely and without losing the flavor. And I know that this has a lot of flavor. It's brilliant. I've never had anything like that before. It's very thick and it goes down the throat with a sense of, hello, I'm here, I'm present. You really notice it. And this concludes our journey through the Segovian craft beers. You must stay tuned because there are more coming. Segovia is not a small place for beer, I must say, but I was quite fascinated by it. And I must say that my favorite will forever be the Special Pale Ale. It's truly one of the beers that I always order in bar if they have it. Vikingator was a new discovery for me, and I must say that perhaps I'll order it much more from now on. The Imperial Stout was interesting. I did not expect it to be like that, but I'm quite surprised, and that pleases me. The India Pale Ale, of course, deserves a special place in my heart for the flavors it has, and I'm quite satisfied with it. Of course, the Witbeer will always be there for you. And it is a step towards the right direction, I must say. And finally, the beer that we started with, the Blonde Ale. It is a beer for anyone. Thank you for watching Beersphere. I hope you enjoyed the beer review and will join in for next time. If you're ever in Segovia, you now know what you have to try out. I'll see you next time.